What's up, you guys? Today we have the Red Green Law deck profile we took to Nationals at Los Angeles. And if you guys do enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe with the bell notifications on, because one day we're all going to the Grand Line. That day is on its way. And no, I'm not a rapper. Without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so we have our searchers, pretty standard, not much to say. For Namis, for Curlies, last but not least, Bunnies. And then moving on, we have our 1-drop red costs, not our 2Ks. So we have Samurai Chopper, just the 1-cost blocker, and Nico Robin. So we played 2 Nico Robin, very good in the Sakazuki matchup or black decks that run the 4-drop blocker Rebecca character. I mean, using 1 Dawn, getting rid of that, so strong. Oh man, it feels so good. It feels so good. It's like ASMR. But Nico Robin also good in the mirror matchup. KO like the Tony Choppers, the Capones, even yellow. Yellow's their 3-cost trigger, the Brule character. Good against that. Also, if you have Otama to synergize with Nico Robin, you can get rid of their brand new that's on active, so you don't have to deal with like the brand new Hanblaze combo that Sakazuki does. Such a nasty combo. But yeah, also 1-cost Straw Hat that Nami can search, and of course the tech that most of us are playing, Dagra, but only 2. 2 is something I wanted to test, and I feel like I like it, but the reason why it's at 2 is because I maxed something else to 4, which you guys will see later on in the video. Otherwise, if I wasn't, I feel like Dagra at 3 or 4 is good, very good. Also, another reason why I did like Dagra at 2 is because Dagra is like reliant on having the 1-drop red costs, and if you don't have those, then he's not much of a threat, because there will be those games where you just kind of have like your 5 costs and some green cards where you don't have your red 1-drops and you have to rely off your draws or off your life. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Dagra, but overall, strong card. He comes up when you need him, especially the turn 2 Shambles. That's crazy strong. And then we have our Supernovas. Or sorry, no, we have our 2K combos. So to have it synergize better with Dagra, we had more 1 costs. So the Makino, very, very strong. I like it a lot. I think that beating decks with the element of surprise is a very nice strat to win those games where you're not supposed to win. I think boosting up like a Nami or Nico Robin like by 3K is a lot for just expend of 1 Dawn. It definitely sneaks you wins, especially if you have 2. There's been moments where they even leave my Otama, where my Otama's alive on board, and I have 2 Makinos in hand. For 2 Dawn, my Otama becomes a 6k beater for that turn. Oh man, that's like ASMR. But yeah, and then next up we have the 3 Brook 2K counter. Very good in the purple Luffy matchup. A very good card in general to just mimic your Dons to your characters and leaders. And searchable off Nami. And then we have our Otama. Only a 3. I know that some decks don't play Otama. I feel like Otama is very essential. I think of it as like how Sakazuki have they have Tutsuru, the 1 cost -2/2 on play. This is basically that, but the red version, and it instead of doing it the cost, it does the attack power, which is very strong, even especially like red-green law, because we're able to establish like so many characters on board. We could minus one of our opponent's 5k characters into a 3k, swing 3/3 with it with like our curly Don or like our Nami by attaching a Don. It's just it gets rid of threats, and I like that a lot. And fill the board faster, Dagra, target, you know. And yes, no, we don't play the 2k counter Sanji, only because even if you are starved, like if Rebecca starves you or Anel starves you, as long as you have your searchers, you will be fine. You're likely to win, because our leader, you know, the ability to just swap in, swap out, replay our searchers, we just fill our hand up. It's gonna be very hard for our opponent to catch up, even, and then they have to get through our 4 life as well. That's just more shields for us. Otherwise, if you don't have your searchers, Sanji would be good. But yeah, I personally don't play Sanji. That's what we have for the 2Ks. We play 10 of them. Next, we have our supernovas. We have best card in our deck, Blacker Law. Of course, we max out on those. And its partner in crime, Zoro, Rush. Very good keyword, very good skill. 3 cost 5k, super strong. Play 2 restand. Put that out of the glare. I feel like 2 is strong right now, only because for restand law he's reliant on having another supernova. So you would need like your Rush Luffy's, your supernovas, your Rush Zeros to really stick on board. But that's just so hard with against those removal decks that we struggle against, aka Sakazuki. And then we run 2 Rush Luffy's. I feel like after Nats you could probably bump them up to, after Nats I could probably bump up to 3. Very strong in the yellow matchup, every matchup really. Crazy ability, takes care of the 7 cost rationale. Like he's a top J. He's a top J. And then next up we have 2 Capone. So we run 2 Capone because with Sakazuki, I know I talk about Sakazuki a lot. It's our hardest matchup, and I like to build it against Sakazuki just because I feel pretty comfortable against like the other decks. But of course we want to make it also beating every other deck as well. But 2 Page because he just becomes like a body to fill up your board and something you could shamble into for like a Luffy. But otherwise it's pretty easy for Sakazuki to really get rid of it. And then what I replace for it instead is the tech that I've been using, X-Drake. I know maybe some of you have already been using this. I personally like X-Drake a lot. He's a he has counter power, and he's on playability. There was this game I had in my locals, and it was against Sakazuki. He had 2 rested Rabbithuds, and we were at 10 Dawn. I just hard played 2 X-Drakes for 10 Dawn. I got rid of both Rabbithuds and just swung 5 at his leader. It was just so clutch. We did end up winning that game. And X-Drake is also good. And like, thing about One Piece is that the game is evolving faster. So like, you're gonna need like cards that have the on-playability, which X-Drake does really well at. Gets the value immediately. Also good against like Enel's Cracker, yellow cards, Ohm, Holly, you know, even like the Piss Barrels if you want. I like it. Oh, even like Pepper Luffy's page ones, and then you could just aim their life. So that's what we have for Supernovas. And last but not least, what we've been maxing out on is instead of Dagras, we went 4 Filmbrooks. I personally liked this a lot. Felt like it was the way for nationals. I feel like it won me games, definitely. The Brook into Zoro combo is just too strong against like Sakazuki. If you think about it, like you look at what Sakazuki is like weak to, like against Purple Luffy. When Purple Luffy does like the page 1 combo where they bring up another 4 cost by minusing 1 Dawn, it's just annoying for like Sakazuki to deal with. They have to expend more resources to get rid of them. This is basically like that, except you know you only get a 3 cost, and you get your Zoro. It's like it's rush, so like swing right away, so you get your value there right away as well. And if they do want to get rid of your Filmbrook, they have to use more resources to take them out. And so, that being said, you still have like your Blacker Laws, your bigger costs for like the following turns to come and play. And also like even like against Purple Luffy, Filmbrook into like the 2 cost, Brook that attaches 2 Rested Dawn. You swing for 7. Oh man, feels so good. And then you also establish another character too. It's nice. I like it. Very strong for going second. So the hardest part is probably trying to win the dice roll. But even if you're going first, you should be fine. I think the only weakness of Filmbrook is that if you're going against like the yellow decks like Enel that starve you, you don't want to at 4 Dawn. You don't want to go Filmbrook into like Zoro, since next turn your opponent will be 5 Dawn Gadatsu. He'll KO like your Brook or your Zoro. It doesn't feel that good. I think for that you'd have to just play around it. You'd have to wait for him to get Atsu or swing at your life. Unless he swings at your life, then you're fine. But yeah. Otherwise, just mulligan the Brook. Go into your smaller green and red costs against Anel that try to starve you. But yeah, definitely strong against Sakazuki. And next up, we could talk a little bit about nationals. I know you guys have probably heard what the other YouTubers have said about like the exhaustion and how unorganized Bandai was. Me personally, I've never played at a big tournament like regionals or offline regionals. This is playing at nationals at LA was my first big tournament. So we did not get the 2-round bye. But this year we are gonna try to play at a regionals to get a 2-round bye. But yeah, we end up going, so it went pretty well up until the 8th round. By the 8th round, we were 6 wins, 2 losses. And then the 9 and 10th round, it was just, oh man, it was just personally very exhausting. A lot of One Piece. I love the game, but I also live in a state where I'm 2 hours ahead of California, so my sleep schedule was just off. And everything was just really delayed. I feel like having the advantage of having like a 2-round bye definitely would have helped. But for our remaining 2 rounds, for round 9 and 10, we actually ended up throwing our lead. We ended up throwing both games. 2-0. Unfortunately, when we beat Anel all day, we beat Anel all day, but we lost our last 2-0 matches back to back. It was super unfortunate. I just personally, as a good player, yeah, the mojo just went away. It's just a bitter pill to swallow. Just got really hungry, really tired. I had coffee earlier in the morning. Starting to crash. And then even for our 10th round, for our last round against Anel, we also didn't find like our blocker law at all, or any of our bonnies. So that's just, sometimes that's just how One Piece goes. Previous that, when we were, by the 8th round, we were 6-2. Our previous 2 losses were against Sakazuki. But our first Sakazuki match that we lost, it was a devastating defeat, only because we had all the cards to win, but we just sequenced it wrong, and then it cost us the game. Like, what I ended up doing is that he swung me with an 8K Borsellino. I had the combo. I had 13. I could get my lead up to 13K power. So I felt too safe with that mentally. So I dropped I dropped my blocker chopper, and then that cost me the game. So because he reduced my blocker law and then just hound blazed it, and then swung for 14K, I can only get to 13. So I should have just dropped 2Ks, get to 9K, defend the 8K attack, save the chopper attack for the Sabo, for the 14K swing, because he only had 2 cards left in his hand. But yeah, and then after that, like, we lost to that other Sakazuki player. It was super unfortunate. We we had a crazy lead. I was at 3 life. He was at 0 life. By the time I was at 3 life, he was at 0 life. Like 2 cards left in his hand. I had a Arrested Zoro, and Arrested Brook with like 6-7 cards left in my hand. I ended up throwing the game. Like it was just nuts. I know what I was thinking at the time, but I look back and I'm just like, what was I thinking? It was that one. Those 2 losses like really hurt me. Like mentally, just because like it was just like I had a really huge lead and I just threw it. But you know, it's okay. We're going back to the drawing board, and we're gonna try to get into regionals if possible. I know it's super hard to get into because people are very fast at signing up, but yeah, that's kind of how Nats went. And if you guys made it this far, thank you so very much for watching it thus far. And Nats was still a very good experience for me in terms of like that kind of level of play. Since that was my first type of experience, it was really cool in that way. I mean, otherwise, if we're talking about the event itself, I think Bandai can do a much better job for being like a $1 trillion company. But you know, it'd be like that sometimes. And yeah, and thank you for those who were with me at nationals and supported me, and you know who you are. I won't say your names just yet, but yeah, thank you for watching if you made it this far. I will see you guys all in the next. Wait. One last thing. If you guys want to see like different decks too, or if you guys don't want to see Red Green Law and want to see like pack openings or different things like that, let me know down in the comments below. I'd be happy to do that as well. Anyways, yes, thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys all in the next One Piece video. And no, we are not giving up yet on Red Green Law. Peace. Oh yeah,